Welcome back to Washington Watch. I'm Tony Perkins. All right, as the cases of the coronavirus increase, state governments continue to issue stay-at-home directives. And we have said you should comply with those. We should be guided by that. It's all designed to keep our emergency rooms and health care facilities from being overrun with this surge of infected patients. So we're there. We're for that. We've supported it. Now, there are exceptions, though, for essential businesses. But one state apparently thinks abortion clinics, and they're not the only state, but the city of Charlotte, state of North Carolina, apparently believes that abortionists are essential. But when it comes to sidewalk counselors that might help those women make the right choice, they're not. Something's not right here. In fact, on Saturday, there were individuals out doing sidewalk counseling that were arrested. Among those arrested, well, actually, my good friend David Benham, chairman of the Board of Cities4Life, entrepreneur, former professional baseball player, and reality TV star. He was one of the pro-life sidewalk counselors, and he joins me now by phone. David Benham, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thanks for having me, Tony. I appreciate it.
All right, okay, let me make sure I get this right. There were how many of you out there providing counseling to these women who were going into an abortion clinic that apparently the governor and the mayor see as an essential service?
Well, when I arrived Saturday morning, there were 3 other sidewalk counselors. So there was just a skeleton crew of us. And it's very interesting, Tony. I was listening to your description, and you're right. We had a local ordinance and then a state statute, and those were COVID-19 laws, and they wanted everybody to stay in shelter-place order in place. And so they deemed abortion clinics essential businesses. But here's what else they deemed essential businesses, and this is the key. They said that any federally recognized 501c3 public charity that provides social services is, and I'm going to quote, strongly encouraged to continue their services. So we are at Cities4Life a federally recognized 501c3 public charity. And so we had every right to be there to offer these social services to these mothers. By the way, if a woman gets an abortion, they leave the facility. It's over. No one's following up with them. That's it. But with us, we're offering them, if you need housing assistance, what kind of critical care do you need? Do you have medical needs? We throw baby showers. And when we started in 2010, Tony, we have had over 5,000 mothers that have chosen life and have been plugged into our critical care network. In addition, we work hand in hand with the Department of Social Services, with our various ministries. We have over 90 families that are working with either foster or adoption with our local city. So we are a legitimate social service organization. And when I arrived on Saturday, I was called Saturday morning, and one of our sidewalk counseling team, they said, listen, there's 15 officers out here, and they're threatening arrest. So I was like, whoa, hold on a second. So I show up, and we only had 3 sidewalk counselors. And the officer came to me and said, sir, you need to leave. And I said, excuse me, first of all, there are not more than 10 people here. Second of all, I'm here as the chairman of the Board of Cities4Life, and we are a federally protected essential business. And he said, no, you are not. And anyway, we went back and forth, and you can see the video on our Facebook page or on anything that you've tweeted. And it's very clear that I was there. There was not 10 people there. The media is spinning this, saying that over 50, as a matter of fact, they said 50 protesters congregated, which is absolutely patently false. So they ended up arresting me, Tony. I'd never been arrested before.
To me, this would appear as viewpoint discrimination. They're allowing the abortionist to operate within the clinic, and the First Amendment protects those that would be on the outside. This has long been a debate, and it has been upheld in court repeatedly that you have a right to speak to the girls, the women coming into those clinics. You're offering them ministry. That's what you're doing there. But they're going to arrest you but allow the abortionist to continue. It sounds like they're working as kind of the protection agency for the abortion clinic.
Well, I know they are, and here it gets even worse than that, Tony, because we as an organization, we are Christians, and we believe that we should take care of our neighbors and everybody around us, and we want to honor and abide by these statutes and these ordinances. We don't want people getting sick. So what we did as an organization was we limited our number of sidewalk counselors that can come to make sure that we were under 10. So we deliberately were at 3 sidewalk counselors, and we took sidewalk chalk and marked off boundary markers where certain sidewalk counselors could not cross so that we did not breach a 6-foot radius. We had hand sanitizer. We went above and beyond to honor the ordinance, even though we are clearly protected as an essential business and did not have to do those things. So we, in our Christian convictions, went much further than the law even allowed, and yet they still arrested me.
You have, I think, Alliance Defending Freedom is actually going to take up your case?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean,
we have attorneys. We have attorneys out of the woodworks coming because they know they have a slam dunk case here.
Well, I was just going to say, as a former police officer and actually being on both sides of this, having seen how this unfolds, my prediction is the DA is going to drop those charges pretty quick, like a hot potato. But my advice would be for the attorneys to pursue this and make a case out of it. Because this is, you can't arrest someone, you can't stop essential activities from going on, and then say, oh, well, we made a mistake, we're not going to take it any further. You can't wash your hands of it once you've done it.
Yeah, the very thing that they were arresting me for, and you'll see in the video online on social media, there's more than 10 people here. So first of all, there's not, but you go to a park, there's 500 people right there. There was 1,000 people at Home Depot. Those are all supposed essential, and you weren't making any arrests there. So, one of these things, and I think this is an important point for me to make. On the one hand, I'm an American citizen, and yes, we are going to follow through with this. We are not. You don't just drop it and walk away and think this is going to be okay. We're going to go after this, and they know it. But that's important for our children and our children's children for their right. But on the other hand, is their spiritual reality that we look at Christians in America today, and I mean, we are changing our behavior to protect ourselves because of COVID, and I think that's a good thing. But what is best is for us to change our behavior to protect the unborn, which is the best thing. And we have to step in. We have to take a look at this and realize, okay, while COVID is truly a global pandemic, it has not even scratched the surface of the amount of lives that abortion has taken globally. So this is an important wake-up call for us to say, okay, we want to love our neighbor. We want to practice social distancing. We do not want to gather with more than 10 people. We want to do these things, but we also have rights as American citizens. The government is not given unlimited power because of this COVID crisis, and we need to be a voice for the voiceless. We
play within the temporary rules, but they should abide by them as well. And clearly, in this case, they were not. David Benham, thanks so much for joining us. Always great to have you on the program, my friend.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you, man.
All right, David Benham, David and Jason Benham, who actually come from good stock when it comes to this issue. Flip Benham, former head of what was the name of the pro-life group that was out there? Just slipped my mind. Operation Rescue, that was it. Longtime pro-life activist.